Hey guys, Sim here. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I came across an idea whilst browsing through many mod sites and several of the prominent YouTube channels that I wanted to dive into, to me, what was one of the biggest questions I've had with regards to Farming Simulator franchise since I've been playing it really. And that question is, to mine or not to mine? Since I can remember, there's always been a large presence of large, heavy-duty construction and mining equipment available across this community, but why, really, was always my initial thought. After all, it's a farming simulator game. It's based on agriculture, it's based on various forms of agriculture globally. And whilst perhaps not as good, there are many construction simulation games out there, and now even new mining games, such as Gold Rush, Miner and Tunnel Simulator, and Construction Simulator, to name but a few. That being said, I don't think it's as much of a hot take to suggest that Farming Simulator still demands the largest audience across all of these genres, and also has the best optimization and best graphics engines to date. A lot of these other programs are still in the infancy and still in development, so may get there, but at the moment they just don't hold a candle to FS. So I can understand with that in mind why users prefer to use the Farming Simulator platform from the get-go. So what I want to do first of all is look at this from a creative standpoint, really. Giants provide all users with the ability to create their own mods through Giants editor. People use Blender as well with that in mind to create models for any need, really. And the same goes for maps and environments. And even if the urge is there and the desire is there, you can even go in and create systems as well, such as seasons, for example. So let's take a look at this first. Let's take a look at some of the mods, let's take a look at some of the creations. We're on a modern map here, which is a variation of Giants vanilla map, Goldcrest Valley. So we're going to have a look into this. Now I've selected a few mods just from random. Big shout out at this stage to AI Cave and their videos for kind of leading me down the path for some of the mods I want to use. If you haven't got checked out his channel yet, I strongly suggest you go over there and do that now. But what strikes me is when you're driving past these machines, for me, it reminds me of the first time of watching Jurassic Park. When the party are driving through the valleys there, they're surrounded by Diplodocus and Triceratops, and it's just, I find yourself in awe, really. And as you drive around the mine here in this little truck of ours, I get the impression that it's almost like we're not supposed to be here. We're too small for the environment. And that's something that I've experienced, at least that I believe is seldom found when you're combining a field of wheat. You just don't get that same experience, regardless of how big or how small the equipment is you may be using. With every machine we see, I have a wanted desire to kind of jump in and have a go, have a blast on it and see what trouble I can cause. And it's almost like being able to unleash that inner child again. But as we look more closely, this map in particular has been designed in a manner that allows not only us to play around and have fun, but it allows for the extraction of raw materials to be processed, or even sold later down the line. For example, we have coal, we have sand, we have dirt. I believe somewhere in here as well there's even salt, which is pretty impressive. And that's all without having deformable terrain. So it's if the ability for deformable terrain was there, this would be mind-blowing. You could do so much more with it. I really do think so. And not only that though, as you may have seen when we started here, there's production facilities. It allows users to not only extract the materials they're required, but then go on to process these to get a different end product. So you can make bitumen, you can extract gold, and you can find various ways in which you can make money. Additionally to agriculture, of course. Not only that, but the wash plant facilities rely upon an operator to collect multiple different items before you can start. So you might need to get some gas to run the generators, you might need water to run the wash plant, you'll need the raw material you're going to put through the wash plant. So all of this, in my mind, adds to structure and operational monitoring throughout, which means that you're not just aimlessly digging a hole there. You have some end process in mind, which I think is very important. And what we're going to do now though, we're going to jump into an excavator and we're going to see from operational compatibility just how easy it is to move and see if the dynamics transfer across easily or not. Okie dokie guys, we are in possibly one of the smallest vehicles on the whole map actually. We're going to go and try and load up some I believe it's a stone in the corner here. Don't really know if I'm honest. We're in a Volvo dump truck. It's actually quite a nice little machine. And what's great about it as well, before we go any further, we have IC, so we can play around. What have we opened up there? I'm not sure. There we go. That's the bonnet opening up. We've got a door we can open up. Take a look outside. Quite a nice level of detail on the engine as well. Not all bad. It looks pretty cool as well. You could cause some trouble in one of these, I'm sure. So we're going to get this folded down. Let's have a look, see. My aim is to try and just see how easy it is to load up this here truck. Now the thing is, I'm fairly sure if I just drive into it, there we go. Whatever that is. I don't actually know what it is. A mysterious stone-like substance. So we'll leave that there, but what I want to see, this is a monstrously big Hitachi. This looks like a 120-ton machine. Now I'm choosing this one because this actually has some great features about it. If we go inside, we have IC enabled on here as well, so we can do things like we can open doors, we can put windscreen wipers on, we can move armrests up and down, that kind of thing. That's just start the engine up. That's the armrest as well. So plenty of little features like that. I have also programmed this one, I must say, to work with my joysticks. So I'll show you what I mean here. On the PlayStation controller now, the two joysticks control all of the functions. With this machine as well, I'm going to try and change the cap there so you can see. We have different functionalities with it, so lots of configurable options as I mentioned. We can put it into transport mode, which effectively takes off the dipper arm and the bucket. And then narrows it all up. It also takes off the steps on the side and the flag on the back as well. We can crank up the engine speed. As you can hear there, it starts to rev up there and gives us a little bit more pressure. Allows the hydraulics to flow freely. And then, like I say, I've got this working, so it's, in theory, it's going to allow me to work the bucket as you would in real life. What I need to just get used to is how that's going to happen. Trouble is, I don't know, because like I mentioned, we do not have deformable terrain. I just don't know how easy it is to load a bucket up. Mining becomes somewhat tricky when you can't. There's nothing in my bucket again. So we're going to put that down. And as you can see, I was bringing the bucket in towards me, and you should expect there's just nothing really there. I don't know where we need to go to get any material in my bucket. So there are issues with that I find is a little bit complicated. I must say though, hats off, this mod looks fantastic. For what it is, I think it's absolutely terrific. That I'm going to just pop this down onto the flat. I want to just show you the additional features. Lots of camera angles as well, so you get that perfect angle to operate in. I find that's really cool. And then if I put it there, as you can see, the whole vehicle starts to come apart, so it can be transported. And then soon we're going to lose the dipper arm on the front there. Just like that. And it's all packed up, ready to go onto a low loader and be carted elsewhere. So I like features like that. I find excavators trickier to use because, as I mentioned, they no deformable terrain makes those a little bit of an issue with triggers. However, it is handy when you've got a little dump truck like this you can fly around on, and it'll automatically load up when you get into a trigger, which is cool. The same can be said over here, where we're going to upgrade. I think I want to get rid of this little. As much as this is nice, I think we need to go big, and we're going to go huge, not just big. This is when you really start to unleash the inner child. Look at the size of these. So we'll jump into this first. Now we are loading soil here. As you can see, there is a tip trigger just next to me. So we're going to have a little play in here. If I don't dunk into the drink first. And as you can see, this one bucket, would you believe, pretty much filled up the whole truck, which I found was quite something. And again, it's little things like triggers that just kind of have issues working sometimes. Let's see, I'm not missing anything. Well, can I tip this out here? Get some more maybe. Let's try and tidy all this up. Also, what I'm noticing is that you're loading up one color textured material and then something else is going into the back of the vehicles, which is never ideal. I don't know how that's possible to change it, but it's just a little thing really. Let's try charging into that. No. But again, look at the size of this machine. Whee! I find it fascinating and interesting to have this variation. You wouldn't, you know, it's machines like this that you wouldn't necessarily get to play around on most Farming Simulator maps. So it's kind of something that's of interest in that respect. This mod could do a little bit of work. I'm not sure why this dude is standing here still. Like, what are you doing here? That could not be a pleasant experience riding up there, particularly with my driving. Inside the truck here, it's a very basic looking mod. We are kind of in the driver's chest, really, I think. Outside the truck, it looks pretty cool, but it's just got that robust feel about it. You know, you can just horse this thing around anywhere, and it won't necessarily break on you, which I really do like. I'm a little bit numb there, but yeah, let's just see if I can get some lights going on this thing. Just monstrously big. It's like you can almost take it over any terrain and it's going to handle it and not going to kind of throw you back in your seat. Oh, there is another truck coming. Alright, and away we go. So you can drive this with reckless abandon and, you know, it's just not going to flip over. It's also probably not going to go into here. Oh. Oh. Well, that was easy. Let's see if we can get up here. Interestingly as well, this has been integrated with the train tracks, so we are able to load like gravel straight up and in. I don't know what I've got here and where it loads into, so I'm going to try. We're just going to see if we can stick her into here, really. So here you can see the wash plant here. It tells us exactly what it needs. We need water that we need, tailings, soil. Oh, and they'll even tell us how much gold we got. I've crashed. I've crashed, people. I've kind of submerged the entire wash plant there, but it seems to be doing its thing. Go on, little small fry. Perfect. So I'm going to park this here. As we wander around, have a look. The wash plant, much like any of the scripts these days, so like Compost Master, which subsequently is just over there, just requires certain materials to get us started with. After that, it's away, really. And I believe all of the goodness is kept into here that we can then sell. I think that's about right. But certainly an interesting development. I'd love to get all your opinions on mining and see what you think about it. I'm going to stick a poll in the top right corner here because I'd love to know if you think it's something that is worth following or not. Certainly I think it's got potential, but I think in my own opinion that it needs to be like kind of revamped a little bit. Have a little bit more time and effort spent into the concept behind it. Obviously there are certain parameters and limitations that the game dictates. But yeah, I think there's a lot of effort being spent on some of these mods, and some of these maps have a great potential, but I'm just not 100% sure about it yet. That being said, it's something different. I encourage and always approve of ingenuity. I find that's always a great concept, and I think that adding this kind of thing into the Farming Simulator world could benefit it. That being said, I'm always more of an ag man to start with, so it'd have to take a lot to pull me away. But for now, I'm going to go and have a bit more of a play around on my Tonka truck and see what's going on, see what trouble we can cause ourselves. This has just been a short little video, nice little update here, something different I want to get to see your opinions on, and we will come back to you tomorrow with some more Meadow Grove. So until then, I hope you do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing as always, but most importantly, happy farming.